So the purpose of our project was to create a task management service that allows us to create a board that represents a full project with lists that represent stages of completion, cards that represent tasks to be done, and users that can be assigned to complete different tasks. Every project has a board, so let's start by creating a board for a new project. And we can do that just by filling in this information and create a new board just like that. Once we do that, we will see our board represented at the bottom of this list. And we can see it right here, the board that we just created. So now we want to see the lists for this board that represent the tasks, that the stages of completion for the tasks. And we can see that these three lists have automatically been created for the board we just made. This is because these lists were automatically created by a trigger on the board table. So this project is going to be done by users. We can add new users and edit their information using the Manage Users system. This allows us to register new users, and to do that we would just add any information that it asks for. And same as the boards, we can see our new user created at the bottom of this list. And here's our newest user. So next we're going to want to look at search users. If we want to search for a user, all we have to do is enter their name, and automatically the user that we have will come up. And we can even enter a partial name and search for anybody that has whatever we entered in their name. So next we're going to want to create a task. So let's go to Manage Cards. We can create a new card. So to assign this card to a specific list, we're going to want to go back to Show Lists and look at the board that we just created. And here we can see the list ID. So let's add a card to the to-do list. Now we can once again see that that card is represented at the bottom of this list. And right here, we can see that our card has been created and assigned to the list. Now let's check if this task is added to the list of tasks for our project. So let's just look up the board again, and we can see that the number of cards in our to-do list has been updated to 1. So now let's make progress on that task. Let's go back to that card, and let's assign a user to a card. So the way we do that is click on Assign User to a Card. We want the user ID that we created earlier and the card ID. or we can even assign more than one user to that card. So now we can see that this user has been assigned to this card, and we can also assign this new user to the card. Now let's make progress on the task. So we'll edit the card and update the list ID to move it to the next list. Now that the list ID has been updated, let's check again to show the board, and we can see that the card has been moved from the to-do list to the doing list. And whenever any work is done on a task, the card will move from one state to the next, and activity is recorded. So to do that, we look at Show Activities. We want the card title. The card title was card title. So we can clearly see that the card has been moved from one list to another, and we can see the two user IDs that were connected to that specific card. That's our project. Thank you, and goodbye.